The first thing that I tried was 50 years of big pharma that left me in fight or flight, which I didn't even realize was the state that my body was continuously in. I just lived it as my life. That was normal. Fight or flight mode was normal for me. When I got a hold of β-Caryophyllene in this form, it was a whole different story. But before that, remember I said I'm in the cannabis industry. I was trying to calm that through using specific alchemy of cannabis.
Welcome to Season 6 of the Cannabis Truth Podcast, where we speak the language of cannabis freely and uncensored while educating our audience on safe use of this live plant therapy. You should know what's in your cannabis, what's good and what's not, because cannabis does not come with an FDA stamp of approval, yet. The information you will find here comes straight from scientists and clinicians, doing the work and reporting their findings in reputable outlets. Hopefully, we can inspire you to research the facts as we know them today. Cannabis is an amazing alternative in health remedies, with the potential to alleviate typical disease problems and troubling side effects, even those caused by synthetic prescriptions. Here now is the host of the Cannabis Truth Podcast. She is a 21st century cannabis shaman, not a doctor, not a scientist. Raised by nuns and wolves in the verdant cattle pastures of the Oklahoma oil fields, here to amplify the truth of this great big story of cannabis in historical, political, scientific, and spiritual terms, so you can make educated decisions about the medicine you choose to ingest. Please welcome Honey Smith-Walls.
Oh, my friends, I'm so glad you're here today, continuing the conversation about β-Caryophyllene, and in particular, BCPlus, the product that our friend, Dr. Philip Blair, has created in his company called Abledoc's Apocathary. So I wanted you to know how I really feel about this product and what I tell other professionals and just the people I meet on the street. Yeah, it's true. I will stop somebody dead in their tracks to explain a little bit about β-Caryophyllene and in particular BCPlus. So enjoy this next episode, please. I was in the throes of elder care before I ever discovered how wonderful BCP could be for me. And every caregiver of anybody can understand the anxiety of caring for somebody else, never knowing if they're going to get better or worse, how soon that's going to happen, the extra hard work that we do in just manual labor, helping somebody else so we get our own inflammatory issues going on, twisting, lifting, all of that sort of thing, rushing, tripping, falling, our own little mini disasters. That's what was going on with me, trying to take care of my aged spouse. And I was getting sicker and sicker and sicker and couldn't pinpoint anything. That's what it was like for me before I met β-Caryophyllene. So before I started using BCPlus, Abledoc's product, I was having terrible sleep issues and pain issues. Pain comes before every thought. When you're in pain, it comes before every thought. So your focus is way skewed. And sleep doesn't come easily with anxiety. So if you're worried about taking care of somebody else, if you're worried about your own health issues, if you're worried about anything in life and it's looping in your mind negatively, this is such a pond for sleep deprivation. And when that happens, all other kinds of things start going on. The inflammation alone that this product settled down for me instantly was huge, because I have very bad arthritis in my hands. And it just settled all of that pain down enough so that I could go to sleep. And it settled my anxiety down enough so that I could go to sleep. I wasn't having all of that negative looping thoughts going on and on and on. And it did it instantly for me, because I use the BCPlus drops. As an elder myself, in my mid-60s, I'd been dealing with pain from arthritis and neuropathy and carpal tunnel. 3 of the most common issues for people in their elder years. And I could not get a very good grasp on it with what I was trying. Once I understood that I could get BCPlus in the mail all the time consistently, and it took care of that pain in my hands so beautifully. But what I was gobsmacked about was the fact that it took care of the anxiety that I was living in. I didn't realize that my level of anxiety was in fight or flight mode constantly until I got hold of BCPlus. And I use it in the dropper form, the liposomal form, because, well, it tastes good and it's really fast. I'm an educator in the cannabis industry, and I teach people how to use cannabis products safely and effectively. One of the compounds that commonly grows in cannabis at very high levels is BCP, beta-Caryophyllene, the product, the compound that BCPlus is based on. And so I was trying to help people use cannabinoids in the same way that I've now been able to understand BCPlus can be used. And you don't have all that legality to horse around with. You get it consistently, the same product over and over and over again, so you can depend on it. You can't do that in the cannabis industry yet, unfortunately, because of all of the politics and how it's rolling around the world. But that's not true of Abledoc Apocathry's product, BCPlus. And it comes in several different forms. So if you don't want the drops, you can do the chewables. If you don't want the chewables, you can do the capsules, and on it goes. They've got quite a variety of methods to take this product. And each method carries its own little special jewel. You know, it's either more efficient for you, more comfortable to use it that way. You just like taking a pill, or you just prefer a drop, that sort of thing. So beta-Caryophyllene, the compound itself that has all this medicinal value in it, can be found in many places. I mean, I just discovered it through my work in cannabis with scientists and medical professionals like Dr. Philip Blair. And I'm just so pleased to have learned what I have about this compound. So on many levels, I am thrilled that it grows in other places, because the stigma of cannabis is still very high. And that's one of the issues in trying to help people understand it. But we don't have that same stigma with this already FDA approved and globally recognized around the world as a product that's safe for human consumption and human use. So we've already been ingesting BCP, beta-Caryophyllene, in other foods and things that we eat and drink. We just didn't realize it, like black pepper. like mangoes. It even grows in grass, for heaven's sakes. And so our animals get it that we eat as well. And that means also our animals can use it like we do for anxiety, inflammation, and acute pain.
Yeah, honey knows.
This is a shout out to all my entrepreneurial sisters. I'm wondering, are you feeling stuck like I did when I first started my business? I hadn't been through business college, and there were so many things I didn't know and understand, especially about marketing, especially about the back-end bone structure of your business, and all the little things that you could do to help yourselves in the way of tools. So looking forward, if you need help in getting those little projects done, but you've been stumped because you just couldn't figure out one piece of that app or the next step or the next darn, and you just wanted somebody to just show me how, I'm your girl. That's why I created honeyshelp.com. Now you can get a la carte help for those little projects that have just been nagging you. I can help you with a lot of that stuff that builds the backbones of your business. And we can do it together, stress-free, where you will enjoy learning how to structure the backbones of your business. I hope that you will go visit honeyshelp.com for more information about what we could do together to get you past those hurdles that have just been stumping you for so long, when all it would take is just a few minutes of somebody showing you how. I'm your girl. This is Honey Smith Walls, and I hope that you will too. Go visit honeyshelp.com today.
If you're not able to use cannabis, you could use a terpene, this one in particular, that will help you with inflammation and pain, acute pain, and like nausea and anxiety. It is an amazing product I don't want to be without, because it made me realize what an anxious woman I was when I wasn't using it. I started using this for the pain in my hands, and yeah, it helps a ton, but when I realized that it absolutely got rid of the anxiety I was feeling, I don't ever want to be without it. Turns out, after all the work I've been doing over the past couple of years for, my inner child and fixing all of that, I was such an anxious woman, I had no idea. But when I use this, that's all gone. It's just gone. I hope you too go look up Dr. Blair's. It's called Abledoc's Apocathary is the name of his company. You can find him at blairmedicalgroup.la as well. And the name of the product is BCPlus. It's a reference to beta-Caryophyllene. The terpene, beta-Caryophyllene, BCPlus. It's so cool.
Honey knows, honey grows.
I was using, the first thing that I tried was 50 years of Big Pharma that left me in fight or flight, which I didn't even realize was the state that my body was continuously in. I just lived it as my life. That was normal. Fight or flight mode was normal for me. When I got a hold of beta-Caryophyllene in this form, it was a whole different story. But before that, remember I said I'm in the cannabis industry. I was trying to calm that through using specific alchemy of cannabis, more CBD that calms anxiety. But the problem with that, as I just mentioned, is the consistency. You cannot get consistency hardly at anywhere in cannabis right now. But you can in beta-Caryophyllene because it is not a cannabinoid. It only acts like one. So what I did before BCP, Big Pharma, and then I went to plant therapy cannabis, and then I found plant therapy beta-Caryophyllene. In fact, let me just show you what I did. I wrote a little book called Healing Beyond High, and I put Dr. Philip Blair and his BCPlus product in here, naming it, showing him, and talking about his discovery and science. I am talking about this on my own podcast, Cannabis Truth, which has been running for 6 years plus. And I talk about it online every opportunity I get, especially to older women who need calming for the fear that they live in of their own future. Well, I separate the two. When I speak about BCP, I try to tell people the advantage of using it first. And if they don't know me and they discover that I'm in the cannabis industry, and then I tell them, yes, this is how I found out about BCP, but BCP, beta-Caryophyllene, is its own compound. It is not a cannabinoid. So it doesn't, it doesn't have anything to do with getting you high or the other compounds in cannabis. It acts like a cannabinoid. It acts like a cannabinoid in our endocannabinoid system of receptors inside our body. And that's unique to this particular compound, and why it's so fabulous, and why Dr. Blair saw, stars when he started finding out about beta-Caryophyllene and doing his research. And so it's a big discovery that beta-Caryophyllene is a unique compound that acts like a cannabinoid in the cannabis receptors, in the cannabinoid receptor system that we have. So that's joyful because that receptor system is huge. It goes throughout our entire body. It's in our blood, it's in our DNA, it's in our bones, it's everywhere. And that means that beta-Caryophyllene can go everywhere in our body too, real fast, because he put it in a liposomal form, which gives it far more bioavailability to us for this one little teeny weeny compound that's so magical and can do so much. I'm so grateful to Dr. Blair and his company for this big, huge invitation to feel great again. I'm 71 years old, and when I was 65, I looked like and felt like I was 95, and like I was heading 1 foot for the grave, because I hadn't met BCP yet. And I was still in the throes of trying to find the right alchemy for my issues through cannabis. Now, I'm not saying, cannabis isn't right. I'm just saying it's got its own issues to deal with that you don't have to bother with when you use Abledoc Apocathry's BCPlus products. You just don't have to deal with the cannabis issue at all because it ain't cannabis. But it does the work that cannabinoids can do for you. And that's so exciting because surgeons can use it, flight controllers can use it. Anybody who has to have super serious concentration and focus can use this to settle anxiety of those type of jobs and to settle inflammation throughout your body and to settle acute pain. So the three major conditions of humans and animals, this one compound can tackle for us if you get the right amount for yourself. Abledoc Apocathry's BCPlus product is to me what a woman's daily vitamin should be. To take care of anxiety, to take care of inflammation. We all have inflammation as women. We're born to it. and to take care of acute pain. And so much, that just covers so many glorious areas for us. Girls and boys, I want to tell you that if you need something for anxious living, for inflammatory issues, or for settling acute pain that you're living in right now, I want you to consider using Abledoc Apocathry's BCPlus products. It manages so many issues because it goes directly into a huge receptor system just waiting for it. You can trust me because I use this product daily. If I did not have β-Caryophyllene, and particularly the BCPlus line of products available to me, if it suddenly disappeared, I would be in panic mode again. There have been days when I've not been able, when I haven't had access to it, like 3 or 4 days at a time, and my anxiety level just raised to the ceiling. And I was shocked by that because my lifestyle has changed. And I don't live in those circumstances anymore that created all of that anxiety. But if β-Caryophyllene and especially BCPlus products were to go poof tomorrow, I would be knocking on every scientist's doors that I have met over the last decade and begging them to go find it in a different source, because now we know, science tells us, this compound can be found in so many places. So if not in cannabis, in hops. If not in hops, in mangoes. If not in mangoes, in black peppercorns. If not in black peppercorns, grass. It grows everywhere. And there is no reason why we should not be ingesting it in ways that give us medicinal relief. And that's what BCPlus products does. They give us the medicinal relief from having enough of the compound to give us that different source. In case you didn't realize that, I do love this product so much. And it's not like I can just get β-Caryophyllene anywhere. I've found it already presentable for me. I don't have to go searching for it. I don't have to ask the dispensary bud tenders how much BCP is in this product that I'm buying, this cannabis product. And I don't know where to find it outside of a dispensary. So, this is all new science and new medicine. And so I'm just so grateful that BCPlus is even here for me, because I don't want to live another day without it, ever.
Honey knows, honey grows.
You've been listening to another Cannabis Truth Podcast with 21st century cannabis shaman Honey Smith Walls. Using cannabis mindfully as medication is a different concept in Western healthcare philosophy, specifically over the past century. There's a lot to learn and reconsider. The scientific truth of cannabis is finally getting out and is wide open for all to see at respected medical sites like the National Library of Medicine at pubmed.gov and the Journal of American Medical Association at JAMAnetwork.com. We here at the Cannabis Truth Podcast are right there in the thick of it, alongside the titans of medicine, as a fly on the wall. We are not doctors, nor did we go to medical school, but we have taken dozens of private cannabis courses and still engage in continuing education offered by expert cannabis scientists. Over the past few years, we slowly began to see and understand the bigger picture. Now we hear from people all day long about cannabis. It is so important to use verifiably safe products. The process of getting a diagnosis from your family doctor and taking your records to a cannabis specialist can lead you to the correct cannabinoid therapy for your specific issues. Otherwise, you're simply your own guinea pig looking for answers without the foundational knowledge or ability to determine your best strategy. To find a qualified cannabis expert in your area, visit cannabisclinicians.org. This is a national society of cannabis experts. Look for the link in the show notes. Unless otherwise proven by a reputable third-party lab test, please regard all street weed as contaminated. It may do grave harm to a patient with a delicate immune system who already has inflammatory issues like arthritis, IBS, fibromyalgia, or worse. Thank you so much for your time today. I hope you find value and understanding through the conversations you've heard on this podcast.
A quick shout out to Nathan Pierce and Daniel Rome of the 406 Budcast and their brilliant tech goddesses who created what you're about to hear next.
She walked in with wisdom and a fire in her eyes, talking plant truth where the silence lies. From the roots to the bloom, she saw the light. Now she's teaching folks how to heal it right. Not afraid to challenge the tale of lazy myths and a system that failed. She's got science in one hand, stories in the other. Lifts up the voices they tried to smother. Honey knows, honey grows. Truth in the soil and love in the smoke. Speaking for the elders and the ones left behind. She's the shaman of the leaf with a warrior's mind. Yeah, honey knows how the healing flows. From Florida sun to digital waves, she's breaking down fear with every word she says. Cannabis truth, that's her battle cry. For the mamas and papas still scared to try. She ain't selling hype, she's serving facts. Taking big pharma to school with class. With a mic and a mission, she lights the way for the lost and the curious every day. Honey knows, honey grows. Truth in the bud and peace in the dose. Teaching the plant like a sacred art. From the ECS to the beating heart. Yeah, honey knows. How the healing flows. She's been burned by the system, lifted by the plant, giving voice to the ones who thought they can. A sister, a savior.